Hey guys, in this video we are going to be solving a radical equation. How do we find the value of x? Before we go ahead with the solution, there is a condition which is x is greater than 0. So take note of this. So let's begin. Solution. We have square root of 1 minus 1 over x plus square root of x minus 1 over x equal to x. Let's make a pretty nice substitution here. Substitution. So we are going to let u equal to this square root of 1 minus 1 over x and v equal to this square root of x minus 1 over x. This entire equation now become u plus v equal to x. We can call this equation 1 and this equation 2. From this supposition, that is u equals to square root of 1 minus 1 over x, if we square both sides, we are going to have u square equal to 1 minus 1 over x. Similarly, if we take a square of both sides of this equation, we are going to have v square equal to x minus 1 over x. Now, let us subtract these two equations. Doing that, we have u square minus v square equal to this guy 1 minus 1 over x minus this guy x minus 1 over x. Let's continue. So we have u square minus v square equal to 1 minus 1 over x minus times x minus x minus times minus 1 over x plus 1 over x. So we have u square minus v square equal to minus 1 over x plus 1 over x, that is 0. We are left with 1 minus x. Let us call this the third equation, equation 3. Let's continue. Consider this equation 3. We know that a square minus b square is equal to a plus b times a minus b. This is a derivative of 2 square. Applying this formula to this guy, we are going to have u plus v times u minus v equal to 1 minus x. This implies that, but we already know what u plus v is. What is u plus v? That is equation 2. U plus v is equals to x. So, since u plus v is equals to x, this guy now becomes x times u minus v equal to 1 minus x. Let's divide both sides by x. So that will be x into u minus v divided by x equal to 1 minus x divided by x. Since x is greater than 0, that was why we were able to divide both sides by x. So let's continue. Clearly, x cancel out x. We are left with u minus v equal to 1 minus x divided by x, could be written as 1 over x minus x over x. So we have u minus v equal to 1 over x minus x cancels x. We have 1 over 1, which is just 1. Let us call this equation 4. Now, let's consider equation 2 and equation 4. What do we have in equation 2? Let me show you. Equation 2 is u plus v equals to x. U plus v equal to x, and equation 4 is this u minus v equal to 1 over x minus 1. Let's subtract these two equations. U minus u, that is 0. V minus minus v, that is 2v. This equal to x minus all of this, 1 over x minus 1. So we have 2v equal to x minus times 1 over x minus 1 over x minus times minus 1, that is plus 1. So 2v is equal to, you will notice that this x minus 1 over x is what? That is v square. Let me show you. You can see x minus 1 over x is v square. So let us plug in v squared here. So we have v square plus 1. This implies that v square minus 2v plus 1 is equal to 0. This also implies that if we factor out this left hand side very well, we are going to have v minus 1 all squared equal to 0. That is, expanding this v minus 1 all squared, you will have this guy back. This also means that v minus 1 is equal to 0. So v is equals to 1. This is the value of v. But that's not the end of the solution. So now, since we know that v square is equal to x minus 1 over x, let me show you where we got this. It's from this line. So let's continue. This implies that what is v? V is equals to 1. So we have 1 square equal to x minus 1 over x. What is 1 square? That is simply 1 equal to x minus 1 over x. Let's multiply each of these guy by x so that we can get rid of this denominator. So that will be x times 1 equal to x times x minus x times 1 over x. So we have x times 1, that is x, equal to x times x, that is x square, minus x cancels x, we are left with 1. This implies that x square minus x minus 1 is equal to 0. We can now easily solve this quadratic equation using quadratic formula, that is x equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. X equal to, from this equation, it is clear that a is equals to 1, b is equals to minus 1, c is equal to negative 1. Plugging these values here, we have minus into, the value of b is minus 1 plus or minus square root of minus 1 all squared minus 4 into, what is a? A is 1 into, what is c? C is negative 1. Everything divided by 2 into a, that is 1. X is equal to minus times minus 1, that is 1, plus or minus square root of minus 1 all square, that is 1, minus 4 times 1 times minus 1, that is plus 4, divided by 2 times 1, that is 2. X is equal to 1 plus or minus square root of 1 plus 4, that is 5, over 2. This implies that x is equal to 1 plus square root of 5 over 2, or x is equal to 1 minus square root of 5 over 2. It is obvious that we have two solutions, x equals to 1 plus square root of 5 over 2, or x equals to 1 minus square root of 5 over 2. But we already know that Our x has to be greater than 0. But if you plug this value, 1 minus square root of 5 over 2, into your calculator, you will get something like um, minus 0.16, minus 0.618 rather. And this guy is what? Is less than 0. Is less than 0. That means we have to ignore this value. S equals to 1 minus square root of 5. So we have to ignore it. As a result of this, therefore, the value of x is equal to 1 plus square root of 5 over 2. This value is often referred to as golden ratio. This is the required solution for this radical equation. That's it. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. Please share your tips. Please tell me if this video was helpful and subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you in my other videos as well. Have a good one.